So, I'm Erica Hernandez, a sophomore at Aspire Pacific Academy, and today I'm here to interview Joseph Alexander, a Holocaust survivor from Poland.
My name is Joseph Alexander. I'm a Holocaust survivor from Poland. And I went through a lot of camps, mainly Auschwitz, Dachau, Warsaw, and some others in between. When we came to Auschwitz, I think that was one of my lucky days. You know, you wouldn't think coming to Auschwitz. Because I don't know if you heard about it. Auschwitz, when you came to Auschwitz,
It's a no-return camp.
left, there was the left and the right. Have you heard about the left?
That.
The left was sick people, young kids, elderly people. And I was told to go to the left. But all the camps where I worked, most of the time, I tried to be with the big, strong, husky guys. I was a little guy. I could get away with a lot of things. So, but when I came over to the left and I looked around and I saw the people who were there, so I said, no, this is not for me. And what I meant is my lucky day was, it was at night, after midnight. And that's where I saw, you heard of Dr. Mengele, and he was the one who was picking. He was the one who picked the people to the left. So when he moved down, he told me to go to the left. Then when he moved further down, I ran back to the other side. Actually, what they told us is the people on the left are going to go on a truck, going to heck them on trucks, because it was 6 kilometers to walk to the camp. So they'll be taken on trucks. But the next morning, we found out they went right to the crematorium. So that's what I meant with my lucky day. I was actually reborn when I ran back to the right. I was born again.
Your second chance. This is such a great opportunity, and I am so honored to be here and do this because it tells the next generation and generations of all nationalities how important it is to know history and how that knowledge, that education in the history of the world can help better the tomorrow and reduce the apathy and carelessness that can just make the same mistake happen again and again and again. Did you ever get completely separated from your family?
Well, that's when I left Warsaw.
When you left Warsaw, you just never...
Never saw him again. When I was taken to the camp, and they remained at home there, right soon after, they were taken to ghetto lodge. You heard of Lodge ghetto. That's where Schindler started his factory. It was Lodge ghetto. In Lodge, they were taken there, and I received one letter from my sister, and she said they took my younger brother. He was about 12 years old at the time. They took him at that time. They didn't have the gas chambers yet. So what they did is they gassed people on trucks. They had trucks, built truck run on wood. And they had the pipes going inside the truck. That's how they gassed. And that's That's all. That's the only letter I got, and nothing. Then I didn't know anything. What happened to her, I didn't know. And I've never heard anything from my parents. And I left 2 sisters and 1 brother in the Warsaw Ghetto. So I don't know if they got killed in the ghetto, or they were on the uprising, or they were taken out and sent to another camp, because there were 2 camps. One is called Majdanek, and one is Treblinka. When we were in Europe in 2004, I went to Majdanek to see. It's a big, huge, was a big, huge camp. That camp, most of the barracks are still there. And you go in the barracks, you see barracks, huge, big, very big barracks. They're inside the barracks, about 2 or 3 barracks, about 2 or 3 barracks is bins with shoes from the people. Then you got some from another barrack, they have glasses, toothbrushes, suitcases. And the same thing in Auschwitz. The hair. Auschwitz they had bales with hair. They were baling up to ship out, which they didn't get it out.
How was that for you? How was it to just see that? I mean, did any familiar?
Well, in a way, I felt good, because I lived to come back. Like, people would ask me, why did you come back? So I told them, I said, I survived. Hitler didn't survive, but I survived. That's why I came back. This time, I'm taking my daughter to see, and her husband, to see the places where I grew up, and also the camps where I was, wanted to see. So we're going back in August.
And you'll visit Auschwitz and
Yes.
and Dachau.
Mm-hmm.
And so, have you made amends with what has happened? Are you willing to just let go, or just say, it happened, but I'm not? Like, what have you decided to do with?
Well, how can you make amends when your whole family get wiped out? You're the only one survive. It's kind of hard to make amends, But life goes on. You have to look ahead. You can't look back. And try to make the best of it.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Yes, it's important to tell that story so that people don't forget. Because there's not too many of us left. And if we don't tell the story, people will forget what happened. So we have to tell it, to keep it in mind, that people remember what happened.